Hello everybody, my name is Sirhcus and welcome back to another episode of the Sirhcus, my single player Let's Play series. It is episode 25 today and we're going to be doing something a little special. We're going to be taking a tour of our world, go on a little world tour. And there is a link in the description to a world download. So if you guys want to download and check out the world, see everything we've done in the last 24 episodes, you are welcome to do so. Let's get started right here where it all began. Well, sort of. I mean, Spawn's over there. We'll go check that out in a second. But the first day, went looking around this forest, found this this waterfront, this ocean, found this little island, and we built this lighthouse, this wonderful lighthouse. This is a lighthouse I have built several times before. I really love the design of it. It's pretty. And let's hop into spectator mode. We're going to be using spectator mode to kind of get some aerial views, something a little bit different than what we normally see. I will be running around as well so that we can look at stuff from the ground, but I love this lighthouse. I love it so much. I don't know why. I think it's got a lot of nice detail, and the shape of it is just it's on point. It's great. So yeah, we built this lighthouse. This was our first house, a little starter house. I originally wasn't going to actually make this house. We were just gonna live in the actual lighthouse, but and I was gonna like decorate the floors and use them for stuff. But I decided to make this house in the second episode so that we'd actually have a proper place to live. And this is the only house that actually has some interior design. We have a little oven, kitchen, sitting area, some storage, and then bedroom upstairs. And this whole island, honestly, it's pretty much complete. It's the only place in the world that I really tried to like finish and make look good and be done. Because this was our first project, and so before I moved on, like I wanted to get this done so I could show you guys, you know, what's in store, what we're gonna be doing in this world. So yeah, that is that. Let's hop back into survival, and we will leave the lighthouse. We'll be back here in a little bit, but let's head down this this path. We are using a resource pack that I have been working on in this series. That is also, I believe that's in the description. I think I have that in there all the time. I've been kind of working on it little by little, and I still have some adjustments I wanted to make, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. It's very vanilla, as you can tell. I mean, it looks very vanilla, but we've updated some of the textures, like the path block, one of my favorite updates, because I hate the yellowness of the vanilla path blocks. I think this looks so much better. It's like an actual dirt path that it's, you know, the grass has been trodden over and worn away, and we're left with just some dirt on the ground. And at the end of the path, we have our first village, our starter village. Welcome to Yester, with a beautiful map of the place. This is the actual spawn. We spawned in right around here. That torch is like the actual spawn. So this is where we started. It used to be a forest here, and obviously cleared out a bunch. In this village, we made it so that we could have some starter farms. We could start getting some food. Basically, was the main purpose. So we have a nice little farm here with our wheat and potatoes and carrots. Also brought some cows over here. Went and got a horse. Actually, this is a new horse that we went and got again because we killed our other horse, or deleted him rather. We didn't really murder him. Actually, instead of putting that bed down, let's go sleep in this house. None of these houses have interior design. This is the only one that has stuff in it. That's something that I would like to come back later once we have a few more resources. We're still not really set up in the world at the moment. Don't have a lot of stuff, and we don't really have a main place to live and keep all of our things. So let's hop back into spectator mode so we can take a look at this village. So this is a very simple village, and I themed it off of the lighthouse design, and that's actually where I came up with like these. I've never done something so intricate, so elaborate with roofs before, with these logs in there and the fences. That just came about because on the lighthouse, I didn't want any mob spawning up top, and so I used like logs and put fences on top of the logs on the roof of the lighthouse to stop spawning, and so I just kind of carried that over here, and I think it looks really cool. I love these little houses. They're giant stone foundations, and they're pointy roofs, lots of gables and dormer windows. I think they look fantastic. The only building that actually looks pretty nice on the inside is the barn here. I've stored tons and tons of hay bales, lots of wheat. I still want to put more in here, like up top, which I think we could. We do have some more wheat in here. Basically any excess wheat I've just turned into hay bales and filled this up so it looks nice and filled. Yeah, so this was our first village. It's a nice and quaint village. Not much here, but there's enough, and it's got a lot of detail and style to it. I like the way that this turned out. So let's hop back into survival and head back to the lighthouse. We're going to be doing a little bit of back and forth because I want to show off the builds in the order that we created them. So next we're heading off across this sea, the sea that we have called Pope's Pond after one of our great viewers and commenters, Alex Pope. It's large. It's as large as his comments are long. So we took a little expedition around this sea in one of the first episodes, and one thing that really caught my eye was this thing that's popping into the distance. This giant rock formation that we have dubbed the Keyhole Spire. We named that in one of our live streams. And right on top, the Keyhole Spire, we have the Ytterby Lighthouse. Yes, we have another lighthouse. I love lighthouses. I love sea. Man, this snapshot has some rendering issues. I love sea-themed builds, or builds that are by the ocean, by the water. I think it just lends itself to some really rich areas and some interesting builds. And here we are at the actual lighthouse. There's nothing too special up here to look at. I really wish those torches weren't there. Those are going to get replaced with sea lanterns eventually. But for now, we don't have anything better. I could go get some glowstone, but I don't think it's worth it to do that when eventually I want to switch it out with the sea lanterns. But there is the lighthouse with its nice dome top sitting on top of the spire with the rickety path twirling about the island. I really love the look at that. I would like to do more of that. There's some really amazing cliffs around here. And when I boated past here, like that's all I could kind of imagine was having pathways kind of going up the mountains and maybe even buildings attached to the side. I don't know if we'll do too much of that here, just because that doesn't quite fit the style that we started. So we can hop back down here onto the path, go across this little bridge, and then I have a walkway, a path going over the mountain. So this is Ytterby. This is our second village. And one thing about this world is we are not mining or caving at the moment. We will in the future, I'm sure. But for the moment, to keep things kind of interesting and keep our progression sort of stunted, we're not going to be mining or caving for resources. And so I needed stone, or wanted a good place to get stone, and that's what Ytterby is for. This is our quarry town. We have these wonderful extreme hills that we've dug into. We can follow the path up this way. And just this is our main source of cobble for our world at the moment. So this is our first quarry. There was already a hole over there, which was something that really made me love this area, because it was kind of perfect and sort of it really inspired me with the quarry idea. And so we have I dug this hole right here all the way down to whatever level that was. Put a bunch of walkways in here. Obviously, I love the way that the wood contrasts with the stone, and you just have paths kind of going everywhere. It looks kind of crazy down there, but it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good in my opinion. And there will be future quarries. I have one planned out over there and one over there. At least, might even put more, and I'd love to put some more buildings in here. Ytterby is not done. We do have a good area finished up down here, but there's still a lot of work to do here. This is like an actual town that has different buildings. So we can follow the path down here, down a rickety walkway. So these guys, they're the people who live here. They're quarriers, they're rock diggers. And so there's lots of stone everywhere, but wherever, like the paths are all stone, but wherever they didn't, carve out a path, they constructed these rickety wood paths, wood scaffolding to get to areas. So this is the main part of Ytterby. We have the Ytterby Church here. And the dome top is actually the same, basically. Like that part is all the same as the lighthouse, kind of carrying those designs over. All these buildings have sort of a rounded roof and lots of stone obviously used. Tried to put some nice detail in there with the cobblestone and lots of stairs, sort of add some depth to the builds. So here is our town square. We have a nice water feature here. And again, a rickety path going up over here, and a very nice waterfall. I love this area, how it turned out. I think it just looks very nice. This is one thing that I've never really focused too much on in the past. I'm pretty good at making buildings and putting buildings up pretty quickly, but I'm not so good at like working on the paths and the areas around the buildings. But when you do it, man, it really brightens up the whole area. So let's go sleep real quick, and then maybe we'll take a little fly around here. So now we can get a nice aerial view. Like I said, we've got some good work done here, but there's still lots to do. I need to get rid of all these farms and put some buildings off this way, as well as down here. And we need some docks here. We're by a nice lake on this side, and we're by Pope's Pond over here. I definitely want to add a dock here. This is usually where I come in with my boat and head up this hill to get to Ytterby. So we need a dock here and some paths going to there. We have lots of room to expand to if we want to add lots more buildings. And then I think down here we'll have like a really nice marketplace type area. And I think this could be a very nice city going on. So next we can head off across this lake to our most recent village that we made. You can see it pop in the distance. This is Aglow. It used to be a vanilla village here that we found. Lots of villagers here already. And I wanted to turn it into a trading post, a place where we could breed a bunch of villagers and do some trading. Since we aren't mining and caving, that's where we're getting like our diamond tools and some other items from these guys. So the idea here was to take a vanilla village and make it better. So I tore down the village completely, and I worked on creating replacements for all the vanilla buildings. So we have a lot of the same block palette as a vanilla village, and a lot of the same types of buildings, but they're all better, I would say. Most of them are like 50% bigger because there's a lot of tiny buildings in the vanilla villages. So here we have probably one of my favorites, definitely my favorite actually, the blacksmith. As you can tell, it's got kind of the same feel. We have the forge over here and the building on the right side, a roof of stone slabs, but the forge is much more interesting. We have a lot more area here. Again, it's very empty, haven't really done any interior design. And then a very interesting roof on top, which is one thing that I wanted to do was just make these roofs more interesting. This house is actually pretty similar to one of the vanilla houses. This is like one of the bigger vanilla houses that comes completely empty. I changed up some of the blocks in there, made them a little bit more interesting. The roof is slightly shallower, put a little gable on the front, and that's pretty much all I did there. I think that house is like the only reasonably sized house in vanilla, and so didn't really have to change too much with that. This is my replacement for the tiny little shacks with the dirt floor. I still wanted to keep it like a little shack, a little shed, but actually make it a decent size, at least slightly better, because those are like 2x3 blocks on the inside. So here we have 3x4, slightly more room to actually live in, but still it's very small and quaint. And then we have this building, which is my replacement for the house with the fences on top that you can actually climb up onto. Again, kind of tried to keep the same feel of it, the same sort of ideas, but make it much better and a little bit bigger. We have our church, which again has like the steeple in the front and the church in the back. Same kind of ideas and design, but better. It's bigger. There's actually room inside now for church, for some pews and an altar up front. It's got a nice oak roof, some block variation instead of having it completely cobble. And then we have some of the same houses. This is the house with the door in the back. In vanilla, there's like a couch over here and like a stone slab table or something, counter. I haven't done any interiors, so I don't know if I'll copy that exactly. And I also didn't put the fences in the back because they would just get in the way. And then finally we have the library, which in vanilla there really isn't a library. There's a house with some bookshelves, and so we have librarians, and I thought it'd be a good idea to actually make a library. So it's fairly simple shape, simple design, but I added a little tower in the front to make it slightly more interesting. And this place should be zombie proof. I've had a couple of zombies spawn like in this house for some reason, no idea why. And I actually did have my first zombie horde, which is there's a chance at night if you're in a village that a pack of zombies will spawn no matter what, even if there's like I think even if there's slabs, they can spawn like in the air. The only way to really prevent is to have water everywhere. So that's a little dangerous. I was able to kill them off pretty easily though. But we have lights everywhere, a nice wall around to keep the zombies out. We have farms so that the villagers can breed, and there's hidden doors underneath the village. So we have a lot more doors than just the ones on the houses. There's 3 of these at the intersections, one at each of the intersections. And there's 20 doors each, so we have room for lots of villagers to breed. And then out back behind Aglow, we have the sugarcane field. This is a very, very large sugarcane field. It's supposed to be like a marsh type area with a floating dock going through it, so you can just kind of walk around in the marsh. And this is lots of sugarcane for our trading needs. I've harvested this whole thing once and did a bunch of trading, and I have like 5 stacks of emeralds from it. So it serves us very well. It took a lot of work, but I'd say it's worth it. So there it is. There's Aglow, our most recent village. Not the prettiest thing. It's very simple and plain. Not a big fan of oak wood myself. The block palette, not a huge fan. But I really wanted to keep the vanilla feel and sort of, this is my vanilla village. This is my interpretation, or this is what I would do if I were creating the vanilla villages. We're heading back to Yester, more specifically the Yester Bay, to see what we built last episode. We have a boat here in our little harbor, a ship, in fact, that we need to name. I do have a sign on me. So this is what we worked on last episode, the purpose of which, besides just looking cool in this harbor, I definitely want to build lots of boats. And this is like my first real boat in vanilla Minecraft. I built one in modded Minecraft, and I've built another one, but it was kind of a cartoony shaped boat, because it was actually like a themed restaurant type thing. But yeah, this is our boat. And it has the purpose of which is to hold our nether portal. We did have a nether portal sitting in the middle of Yester out in the open, and I wanted to find a place for it. So now we have it in this little boat, and I've done a little bit of work here. We have this like plank going up, so you can get onto the boat from the dock. And I changed the sail up a little bit. It's still a little goofy shaped. Before it was like just where it comes up on the bottom there, it was coming up in the middle. The idea is that the sails are like bunched up, they're tied up And so I changed it so that like there was maybe two ropes on, or a rope on either side, holding it up. Not entirely sure how it looks. I might be playing around with that a little bit more. Maybe get rid of that whole bottom row. Maybe that would look better. And then I also changed the little flag. We did have like a white flag up there because that's the only color concrete that I had, utilizing the new blocks that we just got in the snapshot. And so now we have cyan and light gray, which I really like the colors of that. So let's, before we hop into the nether portal to check out our last stop on the tour, let's name this boat. I asked you guys for names and you came up with some really good ones, but I think I thought of a better one. So the idea of this boat is that we're going to make it in several different locations, basically anywhere we put a port. We're going to make this boat with the nether portal. So you can travel, we can pretend that we're traveling by boat. By ship from area to area. You know, we hop on the boat, go through the nether portal, go through the nether to where our destination, like Yitterby, and then when we come out of the portal, we're back on the boat. So this ship is going to be several places, and we're going to call it the Circumnavigator. Navigator. There we go. Is that that's just barely fits? Perfect. Circumnavigator. So yeah, circumnavigation, you know, traveling the globe, and I put my name in it. My name is very strange. It's spelt weird, but it's kind of nice because I can insert it into many things like Sirhcus and circular and circumnavigate. So now we have our named boat, the Circumnavigator, and let's hop into the nether. We haven't really done anything in here yet. We haven't even gone exploring or anything. The only reason I've gone to the nether so far is to go work on our last stop on the tour, which is a very long ways away, even in the nether. So this is our Nightmare Before Christmas themed build. If you've seen the Nightmare Before Christmas, there's a part where Jack Skellington gets lost in the woods or goes wandering in the woods and ends up finding a circle of trees with doors on them. Each door has their own holiday and presumably goes to their own holiday town. And that's what we're going to build. In the nether, we're going to make a circle of trees, giant trees, with the holiday icon that's on the doors, and then a portal to the overworld where we have holiday towns. Obviously, this is, well, I hope it's obvious, this is Christmas Town that we just worked on over Christmas. And the idea is that I go and work on them during each holiday, which actually I need to start on Valentine's Day. I haven't started on that. I kind of forgot about it until like a few days ago. And then we had this tour video. So we'll be working on that after Valentine's actually comes, but that's all right. So yeah, this is our Christmas town, our first of the holiday towns. We have gingerbread houses with green and red roofs, tipped in frosting. We have a nice ice fountain and a little main court area right here in the village. Still a lot of work to do here, but I think we got a good start this year, especially with our limited resources. I mean, right now our resources are fairly limited, and this was like a month ago already, a month and a half ago that we built this. So we have some giant presents. You even pop out of a present when you come in here. It's supposed to look like, you know, we dug our way out or something. Maybe they got a pet rat or something and the rat chewed its way out of the box. Lots of candy canes off in the distance. Hopefully you saw that. When you come out of the portal, you're supposed to be able to see it, although it is kind of obscured by that candy cane. But I suppose when you get to here, you can see it. We have off in the distance the giant North Pole to indicate that this is indeed the North Pole. Santa's town, Santa's workshop is here. Well, not yet. Maybe someday. We got our tree here, which does not look good at all. This is just a tree that I grew. We don't have shears yet. We don't have a ton of iron. I mean, I could make shears, but we don't have a ton of iron, so I didn't want to waste it on shears and gathering leaves. Next year, though, when we come back here, this is going to be one of our main focuses at the beginning, is to make a beautiful tree that's actually decorated, and it's probably going to be a little bit bigger than this one. And then we have an ice rink, which again, it's not quite what I had hoped. I put a design under there with some snowflakes that I think turned out really well, but they're very hard to see. Next year, again, this is something we'll have to improve. I'll get some packed ice, and we can use a mixture of packed ice and ice to really make this design pop. So let's hop back into spectator mode so we can do one more little fly around. Check out this village. Still a lot to do, lots of snow to spread around. Would have been a lot easier to do this in like a tundra or some other, snow plains or whatever. But I was kind of limited by the fact that we're gonna have lots of towns fairly close by, because I don't want the room. We're gonna have a circle of portals in the Nether, and I don't want the portals to be too far apart. And so, there will actually be a town right over here. I think right about where these horses are. I think is gonna be another town. I don't remember which one that is. That might be Thanksgiving, or maybe it's Halloween. I don't know. I know Halloween's, I think that one's Thanksgiving, and Halloween is going to be over that way. So I had to find a large area in the overworld that was mostly like plains and forests, just because I figured those would be the easiest biomes to work with. Didn't want any oceans, obviously, because then we'd have to build our land. Or deserts. I thought those would be a little bit harder to terraform. So we have to make our own snow, which is fine. It honestly wasn't too bad, and I think next year we'll be able to kind of expand this out a lot more and make it even better. But yeah, there's our holiday town, our first holiday town. I really love the idea, and pretty soon we will head into the Nether and actually start working on the actual portals so that we the whole idea sort of comes together a little bit better. And I think that concludes our tour. That is everything we built in this world in the last 24 episodes. And we'll end it off here on the ship. Yes, the circumnavigator. I'm regretting sleeping because we could have been here. Would have been a nice night. So yeah, that's it for this episode, this world tour. Again, there will be a world download in the description, so if you want to check it out, explore this world on your own, you are welcome to do so. Thank you to all of you who have joined me on this journey. This is definitely one of my favorite Minecraft experiences so far, and I have tons of ideas, lots of motivation going forward. I'm excited to keep building in this world, keep expanding it, and keep just making it better. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, peoples.